And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings. Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. On 1st and 10, Rivers. Ebron caught left side. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. They go play action. Rivers. Looking deep downfield. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And a big 32-yard play on 3rd.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? Nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Liner. Set. 380. Buffalo wall. White.
Now a 2nd down throw for Rivers. Ebron's got it. And he gets it down to the 32. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Now the rookie first rounder from Penn State, Saquon Barkley. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Adam Gotsis, the big Aussie, in on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. On 2nd down, here's Barkley. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Gone, gone! Gone, gone!
From the gun, it's Rosen. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. A good pickup there of 20 yards. When you give up points on the opening drive, in this case a field goal, you'd hate to go 3 and out. They avoid that.
They do, and it's also walking that fine line mentally, too, as a coach, isn't it? Because you want to emphasize to your team exactly what you said. All right, we gave up a field goal. Let's go back and at least equal that, guys. But if we don't, you don't want them to feel like it's the end of the world either. Nice that they were able to pick up the first down there, help them relax a little bit.
From midfield now, here's Rosen. Dancing to his left. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody cut. Oh, he just stuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. A first down carry for Barkley. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Grady Jarrett with the tackle.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Here's a give to Barkley. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And I think the Bears have recovered. They have. Not the trend he wanted to start the season with a fumble lost in both weeks 1 and 2. Now, it's not a disaster, but certainly not what he was looking for.
Got to get that fixed because otherwise he shows up on every scouting report. I remember sitting in defensive rooms and hearing the scouting report from my coaches, and if someone had a particular problem carrying the ball and holding on to it, that was noted. Hey, make sure you get a little extra attention to him. Get after the football. He's dropped it the last couple of games.
They got to get to the 23 here on 3rd. Following the fumble recovery, it's Rosen. Steps away to his left. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Josh Hawkins with a pick. And he's able to bring it up 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10.
0.
Following the interception here, Rivers. And Matthews over the middle with the grab. And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. A first down carry for Henry. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Play fake. Rivers. He's going deep for Brown. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
Let's go.
From the shotgun, it's Rivers. But it hits his tight end, Ebron. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He hit his first one, this from 44 yards out now. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will make it 6-0. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Man, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. He'll be tackled shy of the 35. Shifty footwork gets him a little extra on the play. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
The Bears have put an extra defender in the secondary on 3rd down.
Yep, they're in the nickel.
Check 26, check 26. Ready? Leopard! Leopard!
Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. He finds Coleman. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down.
And the key number on that play, 3. 3rd play of the drive. 3rd down, spectacular catch, turns into a first down.
First down saves him from a 3-and-out.
Key 26, key 26. Watch him now, Barney, Barney.
They'll look to throw on first down with Josh Rosen. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Grady Jarrett in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
Gun, gun! Gun, gun!
From the shotgun, it's Rosen. And his throw here's incomplete. Ronald Darby that time, the one who got a hand in and knocked it free. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
The Vikings on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be third and forever.
Gone! Detroit!
Now Rosen. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And a shot taken on third down, unsuccessful. Fourth down now.
And based on my math, they've only converted one time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. Third downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
Onto the field now come the Bears. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Caught left side, Hopkins. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Again to Henry. And an alley to run. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
That's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this.
Here we go. Buffalo ball.
Rivers now on 2nd down. Goes underneath for Henry. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. He's going to look deep down the field. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. A huge play there for Chicago. 53 yards. A first trip to the red zone for the Bears. They've got a 1st and goal from the 10-yard line. They'll try and run for it with Henry. And a tough run gets him just inside the 10 to the 9, but no further. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. As the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. And the ball situated at the 9, 2nd and goal. Here's Rivers. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Another timeout called by the Vikings now, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. A third field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on third down. Off the play fake here, Rivers. Buying time to his left. He can run for it, and he will. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. And his kick here is good. And that will make our score 9-0. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now. And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg. And now out comes Minnesota. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something? You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. The Vikings in the hurry up. They're hustling up to the line. I know there would be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side. Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. The Vikings on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is third down and 12.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Here's Rosen. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Incomplete. And we're down to 8 seconds now. Here's Pat O'Donnell now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised. Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there. Final play of the half, Rivers. Going deep for Hopkins. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. So I'm waltzing down Main Street, got an umbrella, just a torrential downpour, and I look over, and this guy, stone-faced, wearing a poncho that says, "Don't rain on my parade," and he is just angry. And, we got to go. I'll tell you the rest later. Here we go, third quarter. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. We'll get this out to Barkley complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another first and 10. Now Rosen on first down. And he fires one that's intercepted. John Johnson with the INT, and he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. A handoff to Barkley. And a short gain down to about the 33. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
All right, now, look at 56.
On 2nd down, here's Rosen. Flushed out right. And he fires one incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number. Not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. So a solid run by Saquon Barkley, and another 1st and 10 here. Rosen on 1st and 10. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But a Viking was able to corral this one, and Minnesota will keep possession.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
On 2nd down, Rosen. And that is incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
On 3rd down, Barkley. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34.
Cluster.
On play action, Rivers. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. The tight end, Jermaine Gresham, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd and short. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
The Bears on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Working out of the gun, Rivers. He gets it to Brown. Complete. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. A big play there for the Bears on 3rd. 47 yards. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Now a handoff to Henry. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
After the penalty, it's Henry. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
He's going to get it running right. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try through.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney. Detroit, 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 Detroit.
After the interception, here's Rosen. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Now let's go. Green 39, Green 39. Over, 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 over.
Rosen again on 2nd and 10. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And able to find Conley. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A very solid gain of 27. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 43. From the gun, it's Rosen. Forced out to his left. The Conley's got it over the middle. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Leopard! Watch it now, Barney!
Now Rosen to throw on 2nd down. He's going to float this one deep right side. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it.
Detroit!
Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 8.
Detroit!
They go back to the ground now with Barkley. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Call it a gain of 5. 4th down now.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This will be kicked from the 42. It's a 52-yard attempt. And the kick by Elliott is good. And that trims the lead to 3. It's 9-6 now. So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, 1st down.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, 4th quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say, don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching Atlanta, our apologies. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs, and they come up on 2nd down. Second down, Rivers. Flush to his right. He dumps it off for Henry. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
12.
Derrick Henry. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. On the stop there defensively, Marcus May with the tackle.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball. One
of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. Throwing Rivers. He's going deep for Brown. Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. 10th carry now for Derrick Henry. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
Oh, Brandon, I'm going to tell you, this is football time to me. They're inside the 10-yard line. That's like drawing the line in the sand. Who's going to make the stand here? Defensive guys, they know if he gets in the end zone, this ball game is over. And the guys with the football right now, they're thinking, let's just pound it in there.
Got to hold them to 3 to keep this a one-score game. They get it to him running left. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left.
Let's go.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. They come out here in the eye. Here's Henry. And he'll get nothing out of that one. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And this one is right through. And they double their lead, pushing it up now to 12-6. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Lucky 56.
He'll look to throw. He's got Dallas Goedert. His tight end over the middle. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Give him 30 yards there. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. He's back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Dontari Poe in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done.
Detroit!
Back to throw. Coleman has it here right side. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. And that one results in 35 yards.
Well, how about keeping your head about you in this situation? No more timeouts. Finds a way to get out of bounds. Now they can breathe a little bit as they contemplate what to do on the next down.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. And is it a touchdown? No signal. No, they say incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Detroit! Detroit!
Back to throw. Now he steps away. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
Detroit! Detroit!
Rosen to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. So this defense, they looked a little shaky to start the drive, but bottom line, they're a play away from finishing it off.
They rocked them a little bit on this drive, didn't they? But as you and I both know, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. They have a chance to end it right here.
So down 6, and they know they need this one on 4th down. Here we go. It's Rosen on 4th down. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Snags it for the pick. And not much on the return there. He'll take it only up to the 9-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They will take the knee here, and they will finish this regular season with a victory. You never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where.